Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Larry Bodenheimer, and today we're taking a look at Nekark. Nekark is a 32-bit wiper that affects all modern Windows operating systems, everything from Windows 7 and upwards. If we take a look over here at the Threat Insights portal, courtesy of Nike Analytics, we can see that this was last analyzed 18 minutes ago, has a size of only 22 kilobytes, was uploaded by Hate My Name, and has a reputation of -1. Meaning some mysterious benefactor has graced us with his presence for this video and downvoted it to confirm that it is malicious. It was me. I was the mysterious benefactor. If we come down here to detections, we can see Reversing Labs is flagging it as malicious, Win32.Trojan.Nekark. VirusTotal is flagging it with 49 out of 76 detections, with Trojan.KillMBR/Fragtor as the popular threat label. Hatching Triage gives it a score of 8 out of 10. AnyRun says it is clean with a score of 5 out of 100, a threat level of 0, and no threats detected. Now, I know that AnyRun is mostly used for info stealers, remote access Trojans, and ransomware. However, that is, at least to me, pretty hilarious. Threat Zone gives it a suspicious rating of score of 2. Kaspersky OpenTip does flag it as malware, however, it doesn't give it a name, and UnpackMe has no rating for it. Here are your details for the video, and if you're looking for the MD5, SHA-1, and SHA-256, it's here, but it will also be in the comment section down below. Now that we've taken a look at that, let's go ahead and look at our desktop. The only analysis tool that we have open for this video is System Informer. And we'll take a look at the properties for the file. So we come over here, it is a random string of just one letter, and then just random numbers.exe. If we go to details, we can see that it is the same beginning letter and numbers, and then more random numbers, .setup, or not .setup, but setup. And we can see in the file version and product version that it is 6.6.6.6. Man, that takes me back. So we click cancel, and there's really nothing else to do but run the malware. So if we go ahead and run it, we can double click it, and we can see that it does open under Explorer. We get this pop-up window that says the software you just executed is considered malware. This malware will harm your computer and makes it unusable. If you are seeing this message without knowing what you just executed, simply press no and nothing will happen. If you know what this malware does and are using a safe environment to test, press yes to start it. Do you want to execute this malware, resulting in an unusable machine? And true to what it says, if you click no, the malware does immediately close, and if we restart the computer, nothing bad will happen. So we'll let it restart. It should be done now and should reopen. And true to what it says, it lets you get back into the computer. Now, the fact that it warns you that it's malicious doesn't necessarily make it any less malicious. So we'll go ahead and open System Informer again, get it prepared, get it on the right side, scroll all the way to the bottom, and we will come over here and run the malware again. So we got the same thing. If we click yes, this is the last warning. The creator is not responsible for any damage made using this malware. Still execute it. And at this point, if we click no, same thing happens. I'm not going to restart again to prove that point, but there you go. Now, after I click yes this time, things get very loud. And before I execute it, I want you to know that I have turned down the desktop audio 70%. And I will probably have to turn it down even further. As a matter of fact, before I run it, I'm turning my headset volume down. 3, 2, 1. So this is the audio at 70%. If I lower it to 85%, that's probably a lot more doable. The reason I stopped speaking immediately after running it is because my headset volume was still too loud. And as a matter of fact, my headset volume's almost off, and it's still a little uncomfortable, but at least this is manageable. Now, it does actually have multiple of these. The thing it's doing now actually reminds me a lot of KidBits. If you're not familiar with that, with what that is, that was an editing software, kind of like Microsoft Paint with a bunch of other things that was on macOS. Just reminding me of that. Now, funny enough, if we come over here and we click on it in the System Informer and right-click, we can actually terminate this. But I'm not going to do that yet because I want it to go through all of these payloads that it has, and then we're going to restart the computer. Now, I'm not entirely sure how many that it has because I only let it go through 2 of these before I restarted the computer in testing, just to make sure that it does actually wipe the computer. And I will confirm now that, true enough, it does wipe the computer. And that is extremely interesting. As you can see, it's actually plastering its name on the desktop. I'm wondering if it would put a different name if I renamed it, but it's a little too late to find out now. I was actually going to show that you can also just use the computer completely fine while it's doing this. However, I don't know if we're going to be able to do that now. I mean, we could try to open Firefox, but yeah, I guess this is alright. And I guess that was the last payload. So we've got a stop code here. It's got stop code 69 at the end. 0000069. And hold on. It's actually restarting. That's not supposed to happen. In testing, well, I'm going to try it again and do what I did last time. But, I mean, we'll check System Informer. I was told this has persistence. If we take a look on the computer itself, I'm not seeing any form of persistence. It's really weird that after letting it finish all of its payloads, that it actually just didn't do its final destructive payload that it was supposed to. Before we run it really quick, just to look it up while we're on the video, I will go to 0xc0000069 stop code. We've got E9 0000000. I'm pretty sure it was only 5 zeros. That may have actually just been a completely fake screen. However, what makes me think that it was actually legitimate is I was unable to move the mouse. Does this have 5 zeros? It does. Okay, so if we go over here, and we go to 0xc0000069, unable to locate the configuration file specified in the OA 3.0 tool command line option syntax. You must specify a valid file name, and that's the only one. So, I have no idea how you would fix that, but we'll run the malware again. Another, ear scream warning. And what I did last time is I let it get about halfway through the second payload, and I actually did close it in System Informer before I restarted the computer. So I'm wondering if that had anything to do with it. If it doesn't wipe the computer during the actual video, I'm going to be quite upset. I think I would be reasonably upset. A reasonable crash out. But I think I let it get halfway through this. So I'm going to let it do this like 10 times, the audio track. Maybe 12. And then I'm going to terminate it. That was not the malware. Now you get to see me flounder around while I try to open System Informer again. Because that was System Informer that I just closed. But if you terminate it in System Informer, it actually stops entirely. So now that I've done that, let's restart the computer again. And it should, fingers crossed, not work anymore. Why is it working? Why? Is it because maybe I didn't run it as administrator? I don't know if I ran it as admin either of those times. I don't think I did. So maybe it needs admin? Okay, I'm going to lower the audio a little bit more. I'm going to lower it to about 95%. Because we've heard it twice now. And we're going to try this one more time. I don't remember if I ran it as admin in testing, but I'm fairly certain that I didn't run it as admin in the actual video. So let's try opening... I'm not sure which one of these are which. It feels like it's jerking the window back and forth now. Okay. So we'll open... Oh my god. We'll open System Informer. And we got this payload again. And I cannot see anything. So I'm going to let it do this like 12 times. Where the heck? Okay. And now we're going to terminate it. Okay. And now we're going to restart the computer. I'm eventually going to have to do a compilation of my flexes and fails and make it a video for the front of the channel. And finally, here we go. So the problem was I didn't run it as admin. You have to run it as admin for the destructive payload to work. Kind of an L on the malware writer's part, but fair enough. So as you can see, it doesn't overwrite the master boot record. It deletes the master boot record. So in terms of OS, we have no OS. So that is going to be the end of the Nekark Wiper malware. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys did enjoy the video, please make sure to leave a like. Leave a comment in the comment section down below and let me know if there's anything that you would like to see in future videos that I didn't do here, or if there's anything that I did do you feel like is a little redundant. My name is Larry Bodenheimer. You guys have been amazing, and I will see you in the next one.